Hi, I'm Carissa, and you've landed on Paracord Planet. Today, we're going to show you how to make a variety of Paracord Bracelet Core setups so that you can use them in your future projects and maybe even design your own weave. So, what is a bracelet core anyway? Just a quick disclaimer, in this video, when we're talking about core strands, we are not referring to the inner strands of the paracord sheath itself. What we do mean is that when you're making a paracord bracelet, you usually have at least two foundational strands that you build your weave around. The more intricate the design, the more core strands you'll likely need. Honestly, there are so many ways that you can make a bracelet core. We could probably do a whole series on it. Let us know if that's something that you'd be interested in. For this video though, we'll show you a handful of commonly used bracelet cores and a couple unique ones as well. If you want to skip ahead to a specific core setup, check out our chapter thumbnails in the video description below. Now, let's talk supplies. For these demonstrations, we are going to use our regular scissors, lighter, 10-inch jig, screwdriver, knotter's tool, along with Waterworld and Turquoise 550 paracord. We'll link those down below in our video description. The first example is more of an honorable mention because you may not consider it a bracelet core at all. We're including it because you may be wondering, is there such thing as a single strand core setup? The first bracelet style that comes to mind when thinking about this is an adjustable single strand paracord bracelet. To make one of these, you just wrap the cord around your wrist so that the ends overlap and tie an adjustable knot on each side. Now we'll show you one of the most common bracelet cores. If you've ever made a paracord bracelet, you're probably familiar with this setup. Before you begin, adjust the jig to fit the distance around your wrist, plus about 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters, and attach your buckle. You'll want to do this before any paracord bracelet setup. To begin, fold your paracord in half and pass the fold down through the front of your bottom buckle. Pass the running ends through the fold and pull tight to make a cow hitch or lark's head knot. Then you can pass your running ends up through the back or down through the front side of the top buckle, depending on your weave. Make sure your core strands are pulled tight before tying the first knot in your weave to hold the core in place. There isn't a standard 3-strand core setup, nor are they common, but they are possible. Let us know if you'd like to see a 3-strand core or another unique setup. 4-strand cores are commonly used for weaves that are more detailed. And because we will be using more cord, we recommend switching to a 1/2-inch buckle or larger. Here, we're using a 5/8 inch buckle. When switching, be sure to add up to a 1/2 inch or a couple centimeters at most to make room for the more intricate weave. At the top of the jig, fold your cord in half and pass the fold down through the front of the top buckle. Pass the running ends through the fold and pull tight. At the bottom of your jig, thread the left running end down through the front of the buckle and pass left over the core strand. Pass up through the back of the buckle and through the loop we just made. Pull tight. Now, with the right cord, we will do the same and thread the running end down through the front of the buckle and pass right over the core strand. Pass up through the back of the buckle and through the loop. Again, pull tight. Pass the working ends down through the front of the top buckle on their corresponding sides of the cow hitch. Adjust your cow hitches as needed so the core strands are tight with no slack. Next, for a contained core setup, you'll only need about 3 feet of paracord. This core setup is meant to have no running ends and be independent from the weave. You may want a knotter's tool or a fid, also known as a lacing needle. You can make a contained version of almost any core. For this demonstration, we will show a 4-strand contained core. Fold your paracord in half and pass the fold down through the front of your top buckle. Pass the running ends through the fold and pull tight to make a cow hitch knot. Take the right running end and thread it down through the front of the buckle and through the loop we just made. Pull tight. With the same running end, pass up through the buckle to the right of our previous knots and through the loop we just made. Pull tight. You should now have 2 cow hitches on the top buckle. At the bottom of your jig, take the left running end and make a half hitch knot. Thread the left running end down through the front of the buckle and pass right over the core strand. Pass up through the back of the buckle and through the loop we just made. Adjust as needed so that the core strand is tight. Do the same with your right running end, but mirrored. Thread the running end down through the front of the buckle and pass left over the right core strand. Pass up through the back of the buckle and through the loop. Your running ends should now be on the inside of your core. Feed the running ends down through the loop between the top buckle hitches. You may need to use a knotter's tool or a fid for this step. Remove your bracelet from the jig and flip it over to reveal the reverse side of your core. Then trim the running ends a couple of centimeters away from the knots. Melt the ends with a lighter for a few seconds and flatten them down with the bottom of your lighter or a knotter's tool to hold all of the contained core strands in place. Finally, we'll show you how to incorporate multiple colors into any core by fusing 2 or more different cords together. To fuse, trim the ends of each cord at an angle. Then, melt the ends with a lighter for 2 to 3 seconds and carefully press them together. Now, make a fold slightly off to the side of the fuse for your cow hitch knot. This will help hide the fuse and prevent the tension created while weaving from impacting the weakest part of your cord. That's it for today. We hope you guys found this video helpful. Use the comments to let us know if there are any other core setups you'd like to see in a future video. And feel free to subscribe for more paracord content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.